Hey, welcome to another episode of Regret and Despair in games I should have bloody never bought! Check out this fucking thing! Zoltar! So, it's not from the movie Big, but these people at Characters Unlimited in the late 90s to the early 2000s came up with this idea of an animatronic fortune teller, found out that Zoltar Speaks, as said in the movie, was not trademarked, and came up with his own version of Zoltar. They're out of Boulder City, which means all the casinos in Vegas seem to have one in varying flavors. Hell, they even have a Trump one.
God, you're creepy.
But for the most part, it's fun, but I want to make it look like the movie Big. And the outfit this guy's wearing is completely inappropriate for the movie. And I also want to add breathing. So fortune tellers from the late 1920s through the 50s all had it where the guy is breathing. So his eyes move, his jaw moves, his hand moves, and obviously this one talks where the older ones don't. And he spits out a fortune card, which is all way cool. But I want to add the breathing. I also want to hack the crap out of this thing and make them tell my own fortunes. They're great in a public environment, like here at the Ann Arbor Pinball Museum. Great for that, but not so much for your home. But if I can make it a little more entertaining with our own custom messages in fortunes, I think that helps.
Zoltar requires your eternal soul.
Let's do a baseline on this guy. Have him powered on. He's in attract mode. And this game has an optional attract mode box, which means every, 30 seconds, he's going to say something in attract mode, trying to get people to put money in. And you notice in attract mode, his eyes move, which is spooky, but that's what he does. But when attract mode comes up, his jaw also moves. Here we go.
Come on over. For a small fee, Zoltar will give you a wealth of wisdom.
So that's the attract mode to try and get people to put money in the machine. Now I'm going to drop a quarter, and you'll see what happens. The crystal ball will come on, and his arm will move, and it'll tell a fortune.
You may have heard this, but Zoltar is here to tell you you can believe it. Age is simply a matter of mind. If you don't mind, then my friend, it doesn't matter. So go on, be carefree like a little baby. But first, give Zoltar more silver coins, and I will give you a fortune.
And then you could hear that at the end, he spits out a card, which I don't have loaded because they just litter up the place. But anyways, this is the benchmark. So when we add the breathing only comes on when it starts. So the power that moves his arm is going to do the breathing too.
Come on over and let Zoltar be sharing with you your fortune.
Hey, shithead, tell me something I don't know. Got Zoltar all naked. You can see his motorized head movements and the hand, obviously. These go to the eyeballs, and the way the eyeballs work, look at this. Hey, look, this one is actually made in August of 2005. It's got a little servo motor for his eyeballs, and then this plunger pulls in here to move his jaw. That's how his jaw moves. But the other animatronics, the arm is always moving. You can see here the arm is always spinning, but it's got a little timer unit down here for the head. So the head only spins for a little bit and then stops. It's not, you would have thought there'd be a limit switch on here, but there isn't. But this timer then comes back on after a second. That way he's not just constantly moving his head up and down. So I have the breathing mechanism installed, and I got some of these parts from Characters Unlimited. I did have to weld this right here. did a little TIG welding. But this moves with the addition of another motor. So if you remember, this was the head motor, this is the arm motor, and now this is the breathing motor. And of course, the timer board is still intact. That's for the head because the head doesn't run continually. I forgot to mention there's little pots, 2 little pots for the time on and time off on the timer, so how long you want the head to bob. So let me plug this in. I have 2 line cords here. One, this black one's for the head and the arm, and the white one is the new one. So let me plug that in, and I can show you everything running.
Guess what we're doing?
This is our new motor. He's going 120 volts, and this is the head motor. You can see he turns on and off, just like before. Do the timer. You can see the fan just went off, and the arm runs continually. And then the breathing. All it does is this thing goes in and out. So when he has his clothes on, it'll look like he has chest movement. This thing will be moving with his chest. You can see it from over here, how much it moves. Kind of in relationship to his arm, which is kind of neat. And there goes his head. So we're ready to put him back together. I have to put this stuff all back on his body. There's a back piece of wood, and I will dress him as the movie Big because I have a new uniform for him. Here's proof of concept with our Zoltar fully dressed in the Big outfit. With his bobbing head. I don't have the eyes going. I was thinking about putting a red light bulb back here to make his eyes red. Maybe I'll do that. Why would I do that? Oh my God. Oh yeah, why would we not want that? Oh, wow. Is that eerie or what? Man. That is eerie. And you can see his chest moving. You can see him breathing. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's subtle, but it adds to the whole thing.
Zoltar! Yes! Yes! Oh, jeez.
So now let's talk about how we're going to hack the original Zoltar fortunes. We take the original compact flash and one of these adapters to our USB, and we can read it into the computer. And then you can see that they're just files. You just have to have them named properly and configured in the right format, and you can edit them. Here's the original, so there's the original Zoltar.
Pay attention now. Zoltar has a word of wisdom.
And then what we can do is we can bring in our own Zoltar and modify it, and get this.
Welcome to Vintage Flipper World, where pinball plays you.
And then you just have to write them out. You have to export them, and make sure when you export the audio that you're using unsigned 8-bit at no higher than 16K hertz in mono. And then you can export new files and write them back onto this drive with the appropriate file names, and you got custom fortunes.
Knowing Zoltar remembers you well. I want to say Tim something.
For a small fee, Zoltar will give you a wealth of wisdom.
All right, we have Zoltar reimagined here, and I took the fluorescent light out up here because it was shot, and I put in a black light. And then I black light painted all this stuff, including his fingernails, and I even did his eyes, his spooky eyes. And did one tooth. He's got a gold tooth now. So
Your fortune is mine for the telling, and yours for the hearing. Come, let Zoltar tell you more.
all right, that's the attract mode. Now I'm going to coin her up, and let's get a fortune out of Zoltar.
Welcome to Vintage Flipper World, where pinball plays you.
may have heard this, but Zoltar is here to tell you you can believe it. The only thing standing between you and your goals is reality. You are not as special as your mother told you. Use more bling bling coins for this fortune thing, and tell more persons about vintage flipper work.
So that's work. One of our custom fortunes. I did 18 to replace the 16 originals. And then I went a little crazy with the blacklight paints here. I don't know. It was fun. Giving stuff a little more bling bling, as he puts it. But
I am Zoltar, the great gypsy, and I can see your fortune. Come see it too, no?
that I can't change. Well, I could hack the EEPROM that's in the attract mode box, but I'm not going to do that. This is good enough. We've got our own fortunes. But now, if you want to stick around, let's go to the Zoltar factory in Boulder City, Nevada, and check out how they make these things and why they don't like me much.
Yes. We worked on that movie together, The Santa Claus.
The unassuming Characters Unlimited. Look at the guy up there. He's animated. Is he even talking? Characters Unlimited. Here to see how Zoltar is made, the fortune teller. This place is world renowned. World renowned. The Zoltar trinket room. They have miniature versions of Zoltar and even smaller versions of Zoltar. And they have Zoltar wine. Ha! Oh, and Zoltar hats. And so, are these all the stock?
Yeah, well, these are just like our showpieces, and they're also available for purchase. But it's just a fun way of displaying and storing our showpieces. So.
Yeah, it is.
But there are a lot of our most popular characters, like the pirate and sea captain, and these are all animatronic animal heads. There's more over there.
All of them are animatronic?
Yes, they talk and move.
Wow.
And there's more there. That's a violin player, so he actually goes like this and plays the violin, fiddle, I guess. And then, so these are where all the finished heads are, ready to get bearded. So these are all Zoltars. This is like one that we're working on for the freak show. This is actually turning out really cool. So yeah, that's
Man.
She's doing a really good job on that
That
one.
was scary
She just
looking.
left. She had to go take a break because she's taking her energy.
Wow. Oh, so you have aliens too?
Yeah, we do aliens. And
What
then
is your bestseller
Zoltar?
by far?
Yeah. So a funny thing is, my dad, he's the owner, and all of the Zoltars have his teeth in them. So this was he needed teeth for his character, and he had a dental mold or whatever impression, and so he created a mold of his teeth. So every single Zoltar that leaves our shop has his teeth in them.
Oh my gosh.
Look how realistic the eyes look.
Oh yeah, they move. They swing from left to right. Like he's looking. So, huh. And everything's assembled here.
Yes. And then,
And you do press pennies too?
yeah, we do. And then, yeah, there's like some talking fruit over there. These are where all the finished hands are, and our mold room here. So you'll see all kinds of different faces, and
Oh my
some of them are
gosh.
labeled.
This is incredible.
So
What is the
they're-
material that you cast in here?
So we start with a 2-piece plaster mold, and we strap it together, and then they pour this liquid rigid latex in there, and keep topping it off as it sets up to about, I would say, maybe like a 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little bit thicker than that, and then they pour the excess out, remove the 2 pieces, and you have your hollow head. Then they cut the slits for the jaw and the eyes, sand it, paint it, and animate it.
Paint room?
Yeah, this is our paint room.
Wow.
Yeah. So the freak show.
Oops, sorry.
The freak show is like 44 characters. So we're just we've been busy working on those.
And how many machines do you typically make in a week?
Just depends. Maybe like 2 to 4 or something like that.
Huh.
We do like 150 to 170 fortune telling machines in a year.
And are you related to the owner?
Yeah, that's my dad.
Oh.
And my brother's usually here as well. But we
What
have-
is this Apple guy?
It's a talking apple and his eyes move side to side. Yeah.
Who bought
We've
that?
done, we actually have one on order for a farm. Agritourism, people like it.
Yeah, like the pumpkin one, you can see where the pumpkin patch is.
Oh, and tempered glass. Of course. You gotta buy all that. Wow. Welding. What welding do you do? I see a MIG welder back here.
Just stuff. Everything.
Everything? Wow.
Fabricate all our own parts.
That's amazing.
This is Tom here.
Hi, Tom. And what are these on the floor?
Tom's our bodybuilder. He's a professional bodybuilder.
That's what it's gonna be, yeah?
So these are all bodies for the Zoltar. So
And this is what Tom does.
yeah.
And what are these here? These look like...
Right behind you here, actually. You don't have to go back there. It's a love tester.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the traditional love tester.
Yeah.
But it vends.
And
Yeah.
then there's graphics here, but we got to get those. dialed
Wow,
in.
that's pretty cool. I didn't know you guys were doing that too.
Yep, we do that.